Have you ever opened Brightspace and then stared at the announcements and the emails and the assignments all waiting for you and thought, where do I even start? That moment of overwhelming, that's a danger zone for many online students. It's where a little bit of hesitation can snowball into missed deadlines and late nights, but you don't have to live in that headspace. Today on Study With Me, we're talking about a simple habit that can change your whole semester, a 7-day study plan. And we're even going to start you off with an inbox reset that keeps your communications under control. Together, they'll help you stay caught up and confident and hopefully less stressed. Welcome to Study With Me. I'm Loy from GCC's online learning team, and this is episode 2, 7-day study plan. If you find these sessions helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. We've got practical tips coming your way all semester long. So let's jump into tonight's episode. First of all, why routines matter. When it comes to online learning, routines are like a secret weapon. Without them, every day feels like coming up with a whole new plan. Do I study now? Maybe later? Should I check Brightspace first? Should I work on that assignment first? The constant back and forth is called decision fatigue, and it drains your mental energy before you even get started on coursework. A routine takes that pressure off. You don't waste time debating your next move. You already know the plan. That predictability lowers stress and frees your brain up for the actual coursework. Think of it like when you're getting ready to leave the house. Okay, you don't stand there wondering, will you skip shoes today? Or maybe brushing your hair is optional. Or do I want to get my keys first, or my shoes first, or my coat first? If you've done it enough times, you just do it. You run through the steps. You don't even think about it. And you're out the door. When's the last time you really had to think about those steps and what order to take them? A study routine works the same way. It becomes part of the rhythm that you can count on. And that's why routines matter. They cut through daily noise, they reduce your decision fatigue, and give you the mental space to focus on what really matters. Now that we know why routines matter, let's talk about how to actually build one. So the trick is to keep it SMART. Now, you may have heard this acronym before in other places. SMART, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. There are some people in the business world that love SMART goals. SMART structure works when you're talking about routines and study as well. So specific. Well, don't just say, I'm going to study on Tuesday. Be exact. I'm going to study on Tuesday after dinner from 7 to 8 p.m. That's a clear target. That's one you can hit. Measurable. Well, to measure it, give yourself a way to track it. Brightspace has a work to do widget built in the desktop sidebar. You can use that. You can use a checklist. You can make a sticky note, put it in a planner, or even a mobile app. The point is to see what you've finished instead of just guessing. Achievable. Start small. You don't need to commit to endless hours of studying right off the bat. Even one Pomodoro will move you forward. What's a Pomodoro? It's about 25 minutes of focused schoolwork followed by a short break. That's a Pomodoro. Simple as that. And if you're on a roll, you can always stack a couple of them together. Relevant. Make sure the time you're logging actually matters. Do your class reading, draft a discussion post, prep for a quiz. If you're spending the time organizing your highlighters in rainbow order or rearranging your desktop icons, that's not so relevant. Time-bound. Put a frame around it. Let's come up with a routine and try it for a week. A week is long enough to feel the difference, but short enough that it's not overwhelming to start with. So a SMART framework keeps your plan clear, keeps it doable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to keep you moving forward. Let's talk about a week in action. A study routine doesn't have to be complicated. The simplest version of it might look something like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, I'm going to do my readings, assignments, and quizzes. Saturday, I'm going to keep blank. That'll be my flex time, so I can catch up if I've fallen behind, or I can enjoy a well-earned rest if I'm on top of things. Sundays will be for finishing all of my weekly deadlines and making sure that I've done everything I need to do this week in the course. Plus on Sunday, I'm going to throw in one Pomodoro, about 25 uninterrupted minutes, to review how my study plan went and think about how it's going to work in the week ahead. Now that Sunday planning time, that's where you look ahead for deadlines or special events or things that are happening in your life coming up, so you can adjust your schedule before life makes you miss that assignment. Simple routines are easy to put in place. Let's dig a little deeper on that. SUNY's guideline is about 3 hours of work for every credit hour of your class. Okay, so for a 3-credit class, and it's asynchronous, you're aiming for about 9 hours each week to finish all of the work. If you're taking multiple classes, those hours can add up pretty quickly. But you don't need to cram them into marathon sessions. Breaking your study time up into smaller regular blocks makes it manageable, and it gives your brain a break so it can work faster and smoother and not get overwhelmed. Here's a proven process that we use at GCC. We've used this for decades. Step 1. You start with a weekly calendar, a desk blotter, maybe even just a blank sheet of paper. Write the days across the top. Step 2. Write down the times and mark off your non-movable commitments. Work, caregiving, any fixed classes that you can't miss, commuting time to work in those fixed classes, and yes, sleep. Step 3. Add in things that might shift around a bit. Meals, workouts, showers, grocery shopping. Give yourself some time to do the things that you need to do in your life. Step 4. Use what's left to block off study time in Pomodoro pairs. So 2 back-to-back 25-minute sessions with a break between, or about an hour of study work. That's it. That's the formula. And here's a shortcut. In the Success course for GCC students located in Brightspace, you'll find a time management worksheet that you can download. It's in Excel, so you can use it on screen and type in it, or you can print and write on it with a pencil. But it's a ready-made grid of days of the week, hours in the day, and a set of instructions, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, so you can map out your week. When you look at your week this way, you'll see where those 9 hours will fit. Maybe it's a couple hours each on Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings, another pair on Tuesday or Thursday at lunch, and a longer Sunday review. The exact schedule is yours. Every student's will look different. But the principle is the same. Spread the work out. Keep your routine consistent. Treat your study blocks like appointments that you can't skip. That's how you build that routine, so you can stop thinking about when you're going to do the work and just do the work. And here's one last pro tip before we move on. Add some inbox time to your study routine. Set aside some time every week to check your Brightspace announcements and messages and your email so you don't miss anything important. Now let's talk about why your inbox can be your worst enemy. If there's one thing that can derail an online student super fast, it's your email inbox. You got emails from your faculty, from your advisor, from instructors, from somebody else at the campus, and student activities, and deadline reminders, and things from the registrar. Oh, it piles up. The problem isn't just the number of messages either. It's the weight. Every unread email feels like a little to-do hanging over your head, weighing you down. Now that is called mental clutter, and it's stressful. You start avoiding the inbox altogether. That only makes the problem worse. So I'm going to share with you a simple method that I use to take control of my inbox. My inbox method comes from a system originally called the Eisenhower Matrix. It's also known as Covey's Four Quadrants or the Time Management Matrix. If you want to dig deeper into it, any of those terms will bring up lots of resources. Just Google. So here's how it works. Every message in my inbox fits into one of four categories. I look at it, I categorize, and I act on that category immediately. Category 1, it's urgent and it's important. That might be an instructor's note about a quiz deadline or a reminder that today's class has been moved. I want to handle that right now. Category 2 are things that are important, but maybe they're not urgent. These are longer-term tasks, announcements about next week's assignment, research reminders, forms that maybe aren't due right away. This is where you're going to spend most of your time in your inbox. The key here is to schedule or organize these emails into tasks so they don't get lost. Now, some people use some to-do folders in their emails. Other people drop tasks into a planner, an app. Some people write sticky notes, put them on the monitor. The system doesn't matter. What matters is that you've converted your email into a list of upcoming tasks to work on during your scheduled Pomodoros. Now, category 3 is an interesting one. It's an email that's urgent, but not important. It matters to somebody, but maybe not to you. You can forward it to a person who might feel it's important to them. You could delegate it to someone, or you could just delete the email. It's okay to do that if it's not important. And category 4 are emails that are neither urgent nor important. Spam generally fits in that category. But other emails can fit into that category too. When you look at that email, think, is it urgent? Is it important to me? If it's not, toss it. Not every message deserves your time. Run through your inbox with those 4 filters, and you'll clear through the clutter pretty fast. And here's an idea for you. We've been talking about Pomodoros a little bit tonight. 25 minutes of uninterrupted schoolwork. Let's say you've started a Pomodoro and you've finished a task, a reading, a discussion post, a quiz, and maybe there are 5 or 10 minutes left in your Pomodoro study block. Don't waste that time. Open your inbox, run a quick check, sort, schedule, and delete a few messages. When your study block ends, you've not only kept up with your classwork, but you're also keeping your communications under control. So, let's bring this all together. We started with a big picture. Creating a 7-day study routine helps you beat that decision fatigue. That is the number one complaint of online students, the reason they feel that online courses are more difficult than in-person courses. The reality is that online courses are not more difficult, but you have to manage your own schedule. So your 7-day study routine helps you do that and spread your work out across the week so you're not trying to cram it all in your brain at the same time. Then we talked a little bit about details and inbox reset using Covey's quadrants to keep your communication under control. How can you use these to help you? Well, I'll give you 2 challenges for this week. The first challenge would be to map out your study routine. Grab a calendar, grab a blank sheet of paper, grab that time management worksheet located in the Success course for GCC students. Mark your fixed commitments, mark your variable commitments, and then start blocking off the time that you're going to spend studying. And your second challenge, try one inbox reset. Even just once this week. Take a few minutes and run through your messages with those 4 filters. Do it, schedule it, delegate it, toss it. That's it. 2 small actions. But if you do them, you'll already feel more in control, less stressed, and more confident moving forward. And that helps your brain work at optimal capacity. Finally, remember you don't have to figure this out alone. Time blocking, what we've just been doing here, is one of the things that you can get help with at GCC. There are 2 different areas where you can get help. You can get help from the Learning Center with an online virtual appointment to talk to somebody about academic study skills. When you choose the academic study skills option, you'll talk to a tutor who can work you through some of the metacognition or some of the how to study questions. You can also talk to the online learning team. Whenever you hit a snag, reach out. You can reach us 585-345-6969 or by email gcconline@genesee.edu. You can reach both online learning and the Learning Center by going to bit.ly/WNGCC. Let me spell that out for you. bit.ly/ and in all caps, capital W, capital N, capital G, capital C, capital C. When you use that URL, you'll be able to make an appointment with someone at GCC who can help you virtually. I also want to introduce a new forum for our online students to communicate with people here at GCC. In the Success course for GCC students, we've added a new discussion area called the Community Hub. When you go into the Community Hub, you'll find campus announcements, you'll find interesting information, you'll find a student union, and you'll find a discussion board specifically titled Ask for Help. Whenever you need help, just ask. To find that Community Hub, go into the Success course for GCC students, click on Activities, and then Discussions. It'll be the first thing on your screen. Thanks for joining me for Study With Me. I'm Loy, and this was episode 2, the 7-Day Study Plan. I'm going to remind you that we do have a Zoom session after this at 7:30 for students who have specific technical questions or specific questions about their classes. You can find the link for our Zoom session in Brightspace. Make sure to subscribe here at YouTube so you don't miss next week's episode. And until then, keep taking those small steps forward. Remember, we're looking for progress, not perfection.